Welcome to this video developed by the League of Women Voters. This video explains how to complete the Virginia Online Voter Registration application. Here are the requirements for registering to vote in Virginia. Take a moment to read them. Do you meet these requirements? If you do meet them, you can register to vote. Remember, if you are 17 today but you will be 18 by the next general election in November, you can register now. Check to make sure you know when the next general election is happening. Most importantly, you must also have your Social Security number available so you can complete the registration application form. In Virginia, 17-year-olds who are registered can vote in a primary election that determines the political party candidates who will be on the ballot in the next general election. If you have a Virginia driver's license, learner's permit, or an ID from the Virginia DMV, you can register to vote online. You will need the customer identifier number from one of these documents. If you do not have one of these documents from the Virginia DMV, you cannot register online and must use a paper application. If you are a high school student, use your school's link. You could get this from your teacher or click the link in the slide and scroll down to find your school's name and click on it. Then click Register to Vote. If you are not a high school student, search online for the Virginia Citizen Portal. Scroll down on this site and click Go. On the next screen, click Register to Vote. It is important that the online form is completed correctly so the application will be approved and you will be registered to vote. Carefully enter all the required information. You must type your legal first and last name, no nicknames. For example, if your friends call you Tina, but your real name is Christina, you must type Christina. Type the customer identifier number from your driver's license, learner's permit, or Virginia ID. Be sure to do this accurately. Information typed into the online form is compared to information associated with your driver's license, learner's permit, or state ID from the DMV. If it does not match, an error message will appear. Each time you finish a page, click Next to continue. On this screen, accurately type your Social Security number and your date of birth. You must click the box below your date of birth that indicates you are providing your own accurate information and not another person's. You are also agreeing that the information from the DMV can be used for your voter registration. Continue to click Answers to the questions on the screen. You will be allowed to continue answering questions if your answers meet the criteria for voting in Virginia. You will not be allowed to continue if you do not meet the criteria based on your response. The grayed out words will show in black based on your answers. If you answer that you are registered to vote in another state, you must type the name of that state in the box. If you were convicted of a felony, a very serious crime, or were judged mentally incapacitated, you must indicate that your right to vote has been restored. Complete this information. If this information is already filled in, check to make sure it is correct. Your middle name must be included. If you do not have a middle name, check I do not have a middle name. If you have a suffix, such as junior or the second, please select it. Check I do not have a suffix if this does not apply to your name. Checking a choice under gender is optional. You can leave this blank. Make sure your address is correct. Make changes if it is not. You must check that you have read the terms of the Privacy Act notice. You can click on the question mark to read it. The Privacy Act states that your Social Security number will not be released to the public. It will only be used for lawful purposes, such as voter registration or jury selection. This page has pre-selected answers that apply to most people. If these answers are true for you, leave this page as it is. Some people are protected voters and do not have to provide their home address, such as people in law enforcement or people who are under court protection. If this does not apply to you, leave the pre-selected answer. The bottom part of this page is only for people who are in active military duty or military families who are not living in Virginia. If this does not apply to you, leave the pre-selected answer. Under the question, would you like to vote by mail, the directions ask you to choose an absentee option. This means you need to decide if you want to vote by mail or not. The choice of not voting by mail, absentee, is selected for you. This means that you want to vote in person either on election day or during early voting. If you do not want to vote by mail, click on one of the other circles. Your phone number and email address are not required, but if you select these, the Office of Elections might be able to contact you if there is a question about your registration. On this screen, you can click to reread the information that you provided. You must click the box under Voter Registration Affirmation. Here you are saying that the information you have provided is correct. Then click the Submit button on the bottom right. Once the application has been submitted, you will receive notice within 30 days from the Board of Elections. If your registration was successful, you will receive a notification that identifies your polling or voting place. This is usually a location close to your home. Keep this for your records in case you need it in the future. If your registration is not successful, the notice will tell the problem with your application. Then you can try again using the online form or with a paper application form. If you use a paper form, it must be completed correctly and mailed with a stamp on the envelope. Voting is a right to be treasured and used. Many people have fought, and some have even died for this right. Voting is your right and responsibility as a citizen of the United States. Register to vote and urge your friends and family to become registered. Become an informed citizen and vote. Help to get out the vote. Encourage others to vote. Voting is your power.